up everyone, and we're on the way to Sheppey, Barnes Point. I know I've done quite a few videos on it, but it's only about 20 minutes, half hour away from me. I was out with some people earlier, but I was literally 20 minutes and then everyone started packing up, so it's annoying because it was over this way and I didn't bring any bait. If I'd known it would have been so short, I could have brought some. So I've gone back home. Nightmares getting home because one lane was shut on the A249. So I got home, got my bait, chucked another rod in the motor. Then on the way here, exit off the M2 to A249, shut. Of course, the next junction down on the M2 is about 10 miles, 8-10 miles, something like that. So I've had to go all the way down, all the way back up to use a slip road on the other side. So it's not really going to plan for me. But we're on our way. Tide's at 12 o'clock, or 5 past 12. It's now bang on 10 o'clock. So it's a little. I'm here a little bit later than I would normally be. I'd normally give Barton's Point 3 hours up, and possibly 2, maybe 3 down. But I can only do what I can do. I can't wind the clock back. But I'm out trying. No GoPro tonight though, because the straps haven't turned up, like the chest strap. God, I can't get my words out today. Out the head one, none of it's turned up yet. So as soon as that turns up, I'm excited to try it. I mean, you'll have to bear with me because my editing skills are, well, me and computers. Yeah, you might as well give a baby a dictionary to read. It's that bad. So, but we're here to learn. We're here to get it going. Same way as we do with fishing. So, every day's a school day. Just got onto the island now, just got over the bridge. And users don't know Barton's Point. I want to fish it and haven't. So when you get to Barton's Point, on the right hand side, as you go up the ramp onto the top of the car park, if you just look at it on Google Maps, you'll see what I mean straight away. There's a ramp that goes up onto like the beach car park, and it is gravelly and very bumpy, so don't go taking any low riders up there. Trust me, I used to be into my cars. I tried it. It's not worth it. As you go up the ramp, on the right hand side, as you look over to the right hand side, sort of Minster way, it's very shallow up that end. And as you slowly move to the right hand side, at the end of Barton's Point, sorry, I'm driving on it, I'm trying to just check my mirrors. Yeah, as you go to the right hand side, the end of Barton's Point, there's like a rock groin, a big rock groin. That sort of, it marks the end of Barton's. Then you go round more into like the yacht club and places like that, which I still haven't fished. But as you move up to the right, it gets deeper. So depending on what sort of species you're after, I mean, a lot of rays come out of top end of Barton's Point / the yacht club, all that stretch in between there. They get hounds off the yacht club. But if you're after a different species, then you've got stingray. That's East Church Gap. I was talking to someone the other day, and it is quite a long walk. and it is you've got to be very careful down there because the cliffs are eroding, so you've got to really watch your back all the time. Personally, I'm not going to vouch for if it's any good. This is just things that I'm hearing off of people and I'm sharing with you guys, because I've never fished it. I've never done this Church Gap. It's one of them places I'd love to, but I'm not doing it on my own. It's not worth it. So yeah, it's one of them. And as you go further down the island, you get to Laysdown. Laysdown's a no fish area. You can't fish at Laysdown, where all the arcades are anyway. I know that much. Then you go around just past Laysdown, you've got a little mark called the Green Car Park. A lot of rays come off of there. That's very shallow though, very shallow. You could probably wade out half a mile, it is shallow. Bass come off of there. Well, you see the video the other day, if you go on Seaglows. Yeah, then you go into Shell Nest, which is a bit annoying because you used to be able to fish it, and it weren't until the other day that we all found out you can't. So they've put new signs up saying no fishing, which is a bit annoying because that wasn't very good bass mark and rays. And then coming round the island, obviously you join the swale. These are all things that I've just picked up through the years, or like I said, East Church Gap I've been told about. Yeah, you come round into the swale. One of my favourite ray marks in sort of winter is Elms Ferry. That's a low water mark, but I strongly advise you don't fish here for the first time. You get down there at low tide. You need a 4x4 to get down there. I'm not going to lie to you, it is very rough to get down there. But you get down there at low water. It's a low water mark, and you walk out on like a massive spit. It's made up of like, I don't know how to describe it, like loads of shells, like cockle shells. It's hard underfoot. Around the edges gets soft, obviously, because you're going into the mud, but the main walk is hard. But you want to do it during the day and just watch how the tide behaves, because what I normally do is get down there a couple of hours before low water, and when I get there I stick a stick in the ground or something, anything I can find, a bit of wood, just ram it in the ground where the tide line is, because it'll come in around you. So where you can walk out to, I'm trying to explain it the best I can. So as you walk out on the spit, the water will be around you, but you can still go out a little bit further. So where that water is, 2 hours before, stick a stick there, and then you carry on walking. So then you know when the tide goes out, obviously that water's going to back off, but as soon as that water hits that stick again, you know you're at your safe point to get off. Very deep. There's a channel in the middle. It's where all the big boats used to come through, but it is very snaggy. So rotten bottoms are definitely needed, otherwise you're going to keep cracking off all your shop leaders all the time, which is a pain. But yeah, you find these marks, you just sort of, well, my personal thing is I like my choppers and my bobbers and motorbikes, so when I'm not fishing I'm normally out on that if I've got some free times, and I'm riding around just looking at marks. I try and time it with low water. Don't always happen, things ain't always perfect. Yeah, and I'll just ride around and think, oh, that looks alright, or there's a gully there, there's a dirty great big hole there, let's fish in that, see what happens. Sorry, I'm trying to look for the ramp up into the car park. a really tight turn. If you come from the left, Minstead way, there's a car coming down. It's single way as well, so you've got to be careful. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying now. Anyway, probably just chatting pure crap. Hopefully there's not a lot of people in there tonight, because it does get really busy when the tides are right. All the locals come down to this point. It is bang in the middle of the island, so it's easy for them. Now you see what I mean by it's rough. It's really rough. And I'm in an SUV, so oh Jesus, kind of hoping I can get to my little spot. Again, I'm not going to shout and scream about it. It's on Barton's, and that's all I can tell you. I've had some cracking fish off of this little bit, crappy sessions in others, so this seems to be my go-to if no one's fishing it. And like I said, when you find a place, what I do, I'm not saying it'll work for you, but what I do is I try and line it up with some sort of landmark or something that's there. So in this case, I can tell you because there's loads of them, but I know which one. I line it up with a railing. See, I nearly went past it, and there's no one here. Lovely. Let's get fishing. Right, what I'll do, I'll get all my crap out of the car, get it down the beach. There is little ramps. The further right you go, the steeper they get. So if you are disabled or hard of walking, don't know the correct word for that, but you're better off fishing down the right, sorry. Yeah, what have I been saying? Further right you go, the shallower it is. Further left you go, the deeper it is. So scratch whatever I said and swap the left and right around. But yeah, so if you are hard of walking or disabled, then you'll be better off fishing the right hand side, because it is straight down a nice smooth slope, whereas here it's very deep. It's quite a hill. I'll try and show you it when I'm down there, because from the top phones don't show it. So I'm sure a lot of you have probably skipped through this, so let's get fishing. I'll bring you back. As if by magic we're on the beach. Right, baits I've got with me today, I've got a bit of everything. I've got sand eel, I've got blacks, I've got mackerel, I've got bluey, I've got squid. The only thing I haven't got is peeler crab or fresh worm. So what we've got today, we've got Century Bass, Electronics, the one I did that little review on. It's quite good. That is not going far anyway. It's going 20 yards max with business end polypennel. This doesn't have to be perfect. Nowhere near. Do you think the fish find it perfect? No. So that's not even clipped down, that. It's just a polypennel, not even clipped down. Mackerel head. What you do is you cut it at an angle, so it leaves half the guts in it. And then on the Century Tip Tornado, we've got a long pulley, a lot longer than I normally use, with a big old chunk of mackerel. Again, that's going to go out a little bit further. That's probably going to go, what, 50 yards. I'm not whacking it tonight, because most of the decent fish that I've had off this point have been in very close. One thing that will bug you guys, because it's bugging me like crazy, is the flies. They're everywhere. Literally everywhere. I mean, even on your jacket, look, they just crawl everywhere. And then they chase the head torch. So, yeah, fun and games. Right, I'm going to get these two out. And see what comes of this session. Get these out, have a fag, chill out, relax, and then back into nights tomorrow. Sweet. Just missed one on the Century Bass, on that exact same bait that I showed you that I put out. The problem with not elastic in it is I think the bottom hook swings round and digs into the meat. So this time I've tried putting just a little bit of elastic around it just to see if it makes a difference. The mackerel I'm using is like still incredibly frozen, so it's taken a while for the scent to get out. It's taken a while for it to sort of melt down in the water. So I've left a couple out of the box. It's quite a warm night, it's about 18 degrees. The wind's over the top of my head, so that's good. I tend to do better on the heads than I do the bodies. I don't know if anyone can point me in the right why that is. I'd like to know why. I don't know why. I might try a bit of bluey in the surf. See if that makes any difference. I know you can't see the rod tips anymore, guys. I'm sorry. I've got me. Tell you what I can do actually. Oh. Plug that one in. It's not much better, is it? Show you the rod tips. But yeah, I just wondered why it would be the heads that do better. Nothing on the tip tornado though, that's out a little bit further. I'd say probably 50 yards, 60 yards maybe. Just thought I'd try that little bit different. Views that's in my other videos now, I've had a couple of cracking bass off of here, and that was quite a strong pull down on that one just a minute ago. I just didn't get to the rod on time, and the hook had actually come up and touching through the top of the bait, so that was a decent sized fish. So they are there, just got to hope they swim back through. Because the thing with bass is I found out they tend to patrol rather than sort of feed in one area. They patrol up and down. They normally follow the tide. So if you get them 20 minutes before high water, don't pack up at high water, stick it out, just wait for like 20 minutes, half hour after high water, and they might be swimming back through. At least I've had a couple of bass that way anyway, so goes dead over the top of high and then they start to swim back again. Yeah, they definitely patrol. Ooh. Can't wait till this GoPro on the go. So much easier. I'm going to have to turn this head torch off because the flies are attacking me like crazy. I know you can't see much, but again, for all you newcomers, thanks to you that have subscribed. All you newcomers, if you wouldn't mind giving us a like and subscribe, look back on my other videos. And for you that haven't, I do post my blanks. I don't just post all the good stuff. I don't want to put the wrong idea out there that every time you go out you catch, because it's not true. It's really not. So I do post the blanks. Some of my recent videos have been really short, so I am apologising for that. It's been a bit hectic, but tonight it's the only night I'm not on nights, so it makes sense for me to be out, stick myself in night mode and keep there for the week and recoup over the weekend. But yeah, as I was saying, to all you newcomers, if you wouldn't mind giving us a like and subscribe, and if you've got friends on your Facebook that are big into fishing and you think they'd like to watch the channel, then just give us a share. I mean, I know my numbers are small compared to the big dogs, as I like to call them, but I'm not out here trying to tread on people's toes. I'm out here doing it because I want to help you guys. I want to succeed, but I want you guys to succeed with me, if that makes sense. Fishing is not about being the best, in my eyes. Fishing is a time to relax and enjoy yourself. And if I can help other people do that, then I'm doing it right. Likewise, if you guys see something that you don't like that I'm doing, or you think, oh, there's a slightly better way of doing that, and you want to share it, put it in the comments. Or go onto my Instagram, give me a personal message. It's still Real Sea Angler UK. Just get some message. I'll talk to anyone. As long as there's no arsey comments in there, then I'll quite happily reply. We're all out learning. Nearly at the 300 mark on subscribers, so well happy with that. Well happy. So thank you to you nearly 300. I was talking to the missus in the car, and she was saying it's not just for your videos and stuff like that. She said it's a really good way of sort of logging your catches, which is it's true. Because in 4 years' time I can go, God, I caught that bass then. 9 times out of 10 I'll explain the tides and stuff. So it's building tides this week, which is when the bass like to come in around here, which is something that I've slowly picked up off of people, off of fishing it myself. The dropping tides don't seem to do as well. Don't get me wrong, you'll still get them, you will get them, but definitely the building tides do a lot better. So this is the third, I think it's the third tide. I was talking to someone the other day and he was saying there's roughly 8, so I think you have to look out for number 8, because last time I was down here and I had them decent bass, it was the highest tide and I was pinned up against the wall behind me. Oh, that's what I was going to show you, the ramp. So this is up the right hand side, no, left hand side. My right and left are horrendous. Let me turn around. So that's the ramp up to the car. It's quite steep. The car's just up the top there. That's the ramp up. But as you go down the other end, it's a lot shallower. You can literally walk down. There is a bit where there is a what they call jet ski ramp that you can literally walk down if you're that bothered. I generally don't like fishing that end just purely because oh, it's raining. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, the weather we've been having, that rain is welcome. Yeah, I don't fish that end because that's where all the jet skis tend to run up and down and it gets a bit annoying, so I like the deeper end anyway. Just 2 others fishing down here tonight. So 8 rods, I'm guessing. Something's got to come out surely. Let's just hope it's mine so I can show you guys without sounding selfish. Of course I want the other guys to catch. Hopefully that century will go again. Hopefully. We can only try. Right, enough waffle, I'll bring you back. Lovely people, we've gone and done it. Another nice cracking bass. Oh, I missed 2 on the mackerel heads. And like I was just saying, I don't know why the mackerel heads do better. Well, I downsized the baits, literally just put a mackerel fillet on, chucked the guts inside, and it was proper oozing out scent. Lobbed it literally 30 yards. Lovely fish. I don't know how well you can see it. I didn't really bring the right light in tonight. I was in a bit of a rush, but he's definitely a nice fish. He goes 49, so it's nearly the 50 mark. Beautiful, cracky little fish. I've taken a few this year. I put one back the other day, but unfortunately for this fella, he will be coming home. It was a decent size, but if I catch any more, they will be going back. He's coming over from my aunt. She let me know the other day that she absolutely loves bass. So any more this size and they will be going back, purely because they are the breeding fish. I know the limit's 42, but he's way over that anyway. But anything over 42 is mature, which is the breeding fish. So the more you take out the waters, the less you're going to have next year. So I'm not going to be greedy. You're allowed 2 in possession, but I'm not going to be greedy. And this one will literally be this one, and the rest will be going back. So hopefully, guys, I'll bring you back with another nice little specimen. But yeah, from a session that turned out to be pretty pants and everyone leaving early, to me being down here and catching that, I'd say that's a fucking win for tonight. Sorry for the language, but I am well happy. So I'd definitely say that's a win. We'll crack these rods back out, and well, I'll put this poor fella out of his misery first, and then sort these rods out. Alright, cheers guys, I'll bring you back. Well, after that one, the tide's turned and the rods are sat motionless. Like I said, slack water, I've noticed the pattern, nothing really seems to come along. So I'm going to fish it for another hour. Hopefully we'll get another run. Look at me, I look like the thing out of Snow White in the mirror. But yeah, what I'll do is, because I've just watched that video back of the fish, you can't really see it. What I'll do is I'll take a picture of it on top of the box, and I'll put the video. Well, you would have seen it by now, so there's no point in explaining it. Yeah, I took a picture of it and put it on the box basically, so you can see it a bit better. What I'll do is, when I reel in next, I'll show you exactly how I'm baiting up. Well, you see the mackerel head at the very start. So you see how I've done that. So what I'll do is I'll do a fillet. I'll do a fillet on one, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. No baiting tools with me today, so you'll see the raw way to do it, the most basic way. No tools to help you out. It's good to have that sort of that in your pocket. If you ain't got the, don't rely upon the tools, because you know one day you're going to forget it, and you don't want to be like, you don't want to be lost without it. So it's good to learn both techniques, whether it be can't see the rod tip at all because there's lights in the face. I'm sure I'll hear the reel go. I've set the clutches a little bit because they are properly pulling the rods over, so I don't want either of my centuries to go in a drink, that's for sure. Yeah, it's always good to have the two in your pocket. Like the tool, yeah, it makes it a lot easier, makes it a lot neater. If you ain't got it, you make do. So like tonight, I'll just show you how I do it. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my fag, and then I'll probably have the Century bass in, because that's been out quite a while. In fact, that's been out twice now, that head. I had a cracking pull down on it, but it was still blood and that oozing out of it, so the scent was definitely still coming out of it, but it is more than likely washed away by now. So I'll bring that in and I'll put a fillet on it. Yeah, well, like I was saying, you learn from your mistakes. This is one of them learns for me. Obviously I had the mackerel heads on. I'm only using size 3/0, 4/0s. So I think they were, what was happening in my head, this is how I'm thinking, is the bait was too big and I was grabbing the bait and the hook's obviously twisting around and digging into the meat rather than into the fish. Because I lost, well, I didn't lose, I didn't even hook them, so I missed 3 fish. And then I had that last one on a fillet, the hook point really proud. So whether or not I'm going to still continue on the mackerel head bait, whether or not I'll go up to like 5/0, I might even play around with either circle hooks or octopuses on the top. I know a lot of people have been really successful with that, so I might actually make a rig up with some circle hooks on it. We'll see what happens, but for now I'm on the beach. I've got the rigs that I've got with me, so downsizing the bait has worked. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that Century in after my fag and I'll show you a quick bait up. Here we go. So mackerel heads come in, guts are all gone, been munched. So with a mackerel head, obviously you've got the bait and elastic on it. Scissors are normally your best friend. You run up the side of it, cut all that bait and elastic. But with a mackerel head, I generally use a knife and just nice sharp knife, just run down like that. Get through all that bait and elastic. So look, there's still blood oozing out of it. Get that off. Whether this bait up messes up or not, it'll still be going in the video because we're all human. We all make mistakes. What I'll do is I'll sit that to one side, and while I'm waiting for a bite, I'll pick all the bait and elastic off, put that in my bait box, and then throw the head in, because I don't really like the idea of throwing bait and elastic in the sea. It's alright while you're baiting up, it's on your hook, but try and keep it to a minimal. So right, so what I'll do is I'll fill it down the side, just a basic little fillet. There you go. Wrap that round.
And your bike.
Sorry guys. Gent that's fishing next to me just asked how I was getting on. Give him a bit of advice on the bass. That's what we're all here for. So anyway, back to where we were. If I hadn't just tangled the rig right up, of course I would have thought I would have checked that before I went on the camera. There we go. Right, so you've got your pennels. Pull that pennel up out of the way. Nice juicy fillet. And I normally just nick it through the bottom. Now, pull it down. So you got just the bend of the shank hanging out. God, these flies are getting worse. Then some people like to meat out, some people like to skin out. Me personally, I don't really mind which way it goes. I mean, if there's a lot of crab about, skin out sort of generally makes it last a little bit longer, but I'm not having that problem tonight. So now I just start at the bottom and then whip it up, folding it over with my thumb, just making a nice little neat parcel. Keep going up. Keep going. So this is where it gets difficult when you ain't got a baiting tool, because you've got to try and whip to the top. As soon as you go to pinch that last little bit, it always slips out your hand. And then, so to stitch a hook in place, you go round the back of it, pull over to that side, round the back of it, keep pulling like that, and then you can go this way round and back down this way. So they're pulling against each other. I call it stitching. So that hook now doesn't rock around, that is pure pointy out. Alright, pennel hook, pull it down. Now this is where it comes to personal preference or experience. But so you got your main hook that side. I like to go through the other side. So you've got a hook on both sides. Pull that down nice and snug. And there you go. Perfect little small bait. To be fair, that'll do you for rays too. But tonight it's out for the bass. We're in nice and close. Chances of getting a ray in that close, very slim, but there's always that chance. So that's on that. Got the rig here. Before I put these rigs back on, I like to suspend the lead and just let it swing, let it untwist itself, because they do twist up in the tide. As much as you try and make them not, they do. Especially because you're fishing in close as well. But what I have noticed is the gent up there is having quite a bit of problem with weed, and he is casting quite far. So I'm glad I'm out for the bass tonight and in close, because I couldn't be putting up with that weed tonight. What we'd do is we get this rig back on and we get it back out. I'll bring you back. Well, end of the session. Back in the car, as you can see, along the bumpy old road. Well, no more come after that one, but that was 10 minutes before high. So turns out they didn't run back through. The gent next to me, while I was doing the baiting up video, come along. If you notice, there's a bit of a gap in the middle, and I was there, I was getting on and giving him a few pointers. And really nice guy, to be fair. The flies are even in the car. Jesus. Really nice guy. Really impressive collection of Ziplexes, to be fair. Really impressive. He needs to hold on to them, bearing in mind they've closed down, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth, because they're a great company. But I also understand why they didn't sell them on, because a lot of brands get ruined. So anyway, yeah, the bats didn't run back through, the rods just stayed motionless. The time is now 3 o'clock, so I've done a good 3 hours after high. I thought I'd just try it, you never know. Normally I sort of give it 20 minutes, half hour, hour max, but to be fair, I got talking to that gent and he was a really nice guy, so made it a little bit nicer. Oh, this width restriction's horrible. Oh, if you've got a big car, really wide car, there's a width restriction up here and it's concrete blocks, don't hit it. Where's the... There's over there. Ah, pleased to say, just because I've seen 2 McDonald's wrappers up in the car park, pleased to say I can't moan about rubbish today. Bearing in mind it's been so hot, you would have thought everyone would have come to the beach, it would have been alright. Mess. Nope, not today. Can't moan. I'm not in a moaning mood, to be fair. Oh, that's a big bird. Oh, nice. Right, anyway, back on the road, get myself home, sort the rods in the garage, sort the bait out, sort that bass out, take a mosey on over to the missus, jump in bed and sleep. Again guys, thanks for watching, and if you have liked the video, like and subscribe. I know the last couple of videos have been a bit short, to the point. I've tried to make this one a little bit more filled out, so to speak, more like the information that I know and stuff to help you out, because I do understand the last 2 weren't that great. So hopefully the straps will turn up for me GoPro, so the next video might even be on that. Finally, I ain't got used to phone. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have liked it, give us a subscribe. It's absolutely free anyway, it don't cost you anything, so you ain't got to worry about sticking your hand in your pocket. And yeah, cheers for watching guys, tight lines.